Captain Chris didn't win last season, although he put up very good performances when third in the King George and then ran fourth in the Ryanair. So he still ran well in top class races.
Yes, he did. He's had this bad inclination to jump to the right, although he's won the Arkle going left-handed at Cheltenham. Definitely right-handed suits him better. Wouldn't stop us going to Cheltenham again, but it's probably not ideal. So we're going to start in the Amlin Chase, 2 mile 3, right-hand track. King George is a possibility, but not really sure at this stage what trip he'll be going, so we'll see how we get on.
And as he didn't win last season, presumably in these Grade 2 races he wouldn't carry a Grade 1 penalty, which might also help him.
Well, exactly. I mean, the Amlin Chase, for instance, horse that has done well last season, we'll have to give him £10, so that will be a big advantage to us.
And perhaps a race like the Peterborough Chase in a similar category?
Very much a possibility. I mean, that's not that long after the Amlin Chase, but I suppose one race at a time, see how we get on.
Now, Minora was perhaps a little bit sticky, shall we say, to begin with over fences, but once he got it right in the end, he looked pretty good towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I suppose Aintree particularly was obviously his best run, but you know, he's a horse that's always jumped brilliantly at home, and his first novice chase at Exeter he jumped brilliantly until he unseated Richard the second last. I don't know whether he's been a bit unlucky or what really, but he can jump, you know. So I suppose getting it together on the racecourse sometimes takes a bit longer, but hopefully he'll be all right now.
Still being held together, the odds-on favourite Minora as he comes to the second last now. Richard Johnson, Minori dived at that, his first mistake. Oh dear, lightning has struck twice. He's unseated Richard Johnson, this time at the second last.
Are you inclined to put a bit of a line through Punchestown, given that the ground was very, very soft?
I think so. The one thing about Punchestown actually is, at least Punchestown and Aintree, his last 2 runs, he jumped very well, but the ground was really bad. And look, it didn't do him any harm to run, but at the same time, I don't think he produced his best on that sort of ground.
Now, from Minora and Blackstone Mountain coming there on the near side, coming down to the final fence in the Ryanair. Lucky William and Barry Geraghty land in front of, in second place, Blackstone Mountain, who's putting in a challenge towards the near side. Cumbishware was a faller. Lucky William on the far side, Barry Geraghty, Blackstone Mountain and Ruby Woods. Lucky Mountain pulls out enough, and Lucky Mountain will win it. Lucky William wins it.
I know that all the press have made a big thing that when he went to Aintree he won over 2.5, and that's probably his trip. It could well be, and he's always, like when he won the Supreme Novice Hurdle, running on well at the end of 2. But he's got plenty of pace as well, so I wouldn't be ruling out 2 mile races, but I think we just have to see how we go. And Holden Gold Cup's the starting point, and he might go 2.5, maybe Peterborough Chase, he might end up going back to 2 for the Tingle Creek, I don't know, we'll see.
So there is the prospect of him bumping into Sprinter Sacre.
Yeah, I suppose so, but you know, at the end of the day, he looks an exceptional horse, but wherever you go, it's not going to be easy with a horse like Minora, so we're going to have to take on something at some stage, that's for sure.
But amongst your highly rated horses in the yard, Minora still strikes perhaps as the one who has very much got the potential to improve on his rating.
Yeah, I think he definitely has. He looks fantastic at the moment too. So I hope that we've got a good starting point anyway. He's very genuine. He's a lovely horse, but he's had 3 breathing operations and it hasn't completely cured the problem. And I think he's inconsistent because some days it affects him more than others. Last season when he ran in the Paddy Power, he came back after the race with his head down, just couldn't get any air at all. And yet later on in the season, he ran fantastic race at Aintree, which is really good. So I think he'll probably remain inconsistent because of that.
He's had a couple of good runs at Aintree, so he obviously likes it there, and I gather that you've got him in mind for the old round chase.
Very much so, but mind you, he wouldn't run there if the ground was soft, because you know that's not going to be any good with his breathing issues. Good soft, fine, but not soft.
So Fingal Bay with a 6-length advantage. Again, he was very good over it from Tiger O'Toole in second, and they're clear of Witness That. As they come down towards the 16th and final fence, shaken up Fingal Bay, clear by about 4 lengths from Tiger O'Toole. Here's the last, Fingal Bay over safely. Tiger O'Toole over in second, has not quite given up yet, Tiger. Fingal Bay out in front by a length from Tiger O'Toole. Fingal Bay just has to be shaken up here. Tiger O'Toole is trying hard to close, but Fingal Bay jumped well, will make a winning chasing debut for Richard Johnson and Philip Hobbs.
It's interesting that you were saying that he wouldn't be a top-class horse when you see him working in the mornings. He obviously saves his best for the racecourse.
Very much so, but you know, isn't that better if they look after themselves at home and don't overexert themselves? You know, it's not that he's ungenuine at home, but I don't think he really does his best at home anyway.
Distance-wise, and if all went well first time out, where would you think of going after then?
Well, I'm sure that he wouldn't want shorter than 2.5. That's for sure. Whether he gets 3 miles, the jury's out a bit after Aintree, but I think he will, especially now he's a year older. Right. So I think we'd start over 2.5, and I suppose the next obvious step would be Paddy Power meeting 2.5 again, and then maybe the novice chase at Kempston over Christmas, the Feltham, which is always it's a valuable race, and it's 3 miles, and if he doesn't get 3 miles around there, he won't anywhere. So I would have thought that's the route.
And so if 3 miles wasn't the trip, and he got to Cheltenham in March, you could think about coming back in trip for the Jewson.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you go Jewson 2.5 rather than RSA. So you know, but one race at a time. We'll see how we get on first.
But certainly, you know, amongst this season's hopes, he'd be one who you very much hope would end up at Cheltenham in March.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I hope plenty of others too, but obviously he would be
towards the top of the list. Perhaps.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Balthazar King was a horse who flew the flag for the yard when winning the cross-country race at the Cheltenham Festival. Is the plan to go back for some of those type of races this season?
Well, he'll probably run in Cheltenham in October, and then after that the cross-country race, the Paddy Power meeting, and probably have a winter break because he's not really a horse that wants soft ground, and have a spring campaign with the National in mind. If Aintree Grand National was soft, that wouldn't suit him at all, so the Scottish Grand National is nearly always better ground. Main thing about him, he stays very well, so the 4 miles would suit. I think he's always been a very good jumper any sort of fence, to be honest, so right from the start, so I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem.
Now, Planet of Sound didn't win in 3 starts last season, but he did finish second in a Hennessy and also ran well in the National.
He did. So maybe, again, the Charlie Hall, the Weatherby might be a good race for him because he'll receive weight from horses that have been winning races more recently. So, obviously at this stage I don't know what's likely to be entered, but faster ground wouldn't be a problem, which sometimes is up there. So that could be an option.
Could he perhaps be one for a beacher chase over the national fences, but over a shorter trip?
That would probably be absolutely ideal, but the problem is Aintree in December is usually very, very soft, which wouldn't suit him. He's a horse that wants good ground. He's a little bit hyper. He gets a bit worked up. I mean, last season, his first run at Chepstow in the 3 mile novice chase was very good. Then he went to Ascot and he bored over at the start, sweating up, ran badly. And he just needed to get his confidence and just settle a bit as well. The 3 mile handicap chase they have at Ascot early November might be the right.
They've got to do it, haven't they?